Hello Matt, hello Wes. We're at Devils Dyke and we've got Greg on the yellow glider out front there. And we've got Jonathan just down there. There's Tim just coming into land. Conditions are northwest at Devils Dyke and a little bit thermic, not a lot happening. When the clouds come in, cloud streaks, I suspect we'll get better conditions. Okay Greg, as we get a bit more height we start pushing out, can't we? Hello Tim. We've got Greg on the yellow glider there. He's pushed out in a 360 now, starting to climb. Keep the turn on one more, climb a bit, and then we'll push out from that. You don't want to be going behind the ridge. You can go more, but I would suggest going out front would be better, because you'll get pinned on the ridge, Greg, otherwise. So quarter bar if you wish, and push out. To go through this routine of thermal circle. When he gets his height, he's going to have to push out again. But unfortunately, his airspace is getting busy. We're going to head towards the big white cloud. So if you identify the green glider out front, in front of you, they're pushing quite quickly now. I want you out front. That's Fletch up there, if you can see him.
It's smoother higher up.
What's he say, Tim? He's 3,400.
400. And how long you been in the air now?
Only about an hour, I think.
Got the Atos just to...
Atos is to the right of him. You on bar, because he's motoring now into wind.
Well, I've got extra ballast today, and my speed into wind isn't too bad.
Very close to cloud base.
In the sun now, so it's all good.
Full frontal, how does it feel?
It was a bit scary. Hit quite a nice spicy core, went like that.
Do you know what Greg said to me?
Go on.
He said, blimey, that was beep.
Went up, I thought, oh, that's okay. Gained a little bit of height, started heading back this way. But that spicy air that I'd just flown through on the downwind, now on the interwind leg, was rough as anything.
North-northwest direction.
Yeah.
It's got a lot to do with it. Yeah. Or is it the shape of the land? It's just because
it's fun. All the trees on the front there.
Yeah, well, it's going to give you yeah.
Churning up.
So Greg made the decision it was safe to go off, and he's up there now. Tim's getting dragged over there. Go on, go and help him out. I'll keep an eye on Greg in case he has to deploy a reserve. Wes, you know, talking about conditions, yeah, you got to play real, you know, don't get sucked into making the wrong one, basically. You changed your mind, Wes doesn't want to go. Just arrived. Morning.
What adventures shall we have today?
Happy ones. There's no stressful.
No stress day.
Take notice of all of the. I think it's really tricky to understand conditions. I've flown on and off over the years a lot, and I find that's the most difficult thing, is to understand that, and that's what you need to spend your time having a look at, and maybe learning a lot about, you know, the weather and everything else, and airflow and air masses and stuff like that, because that will give you the information to tell you what was really going on yesterday. So. And that takes time.
The high pressure is much more oblong, so it was pulling in the air from the Arctic. So there was lots of punchy thermals, and but that's why it was so cold. So it's pulling air up and around here, and from Greenland and Iceland up there, and pulling it down, and that's why it's so bitterly cold yesterday. Gusts and things like that. So it was very unstable, basically really unstable air.
Explaining to the others, the cumulus clouds in the distance are getting closer. You might not see it on the camera, but they're coming. High cirrus cut down the sun a bit. Thermal activity is looking very good, unlike yesterday. So the clouds are getting closer. First thermals of the day are starting to kick off, proper ones. Just need a bit more energy in them, and probably we'll start to head up there under a cloud like that. There we go. First thermal of the day. Come on, Glenn, hurry up. So Jonathan's doing well. He's up there on the blue glider. Turn him right. Glenn's gone off to join him, and Greg is contemplating. But unless it's boomtastic and it's got to be good, it's got to be rough sort of weather, he's not interested apparently. So this takes skill. Jonathan's doing well. He's got 1 hour and 42 minutes now. Look at that. Look, Jonathan's up there. He's doing very well, isn't he, Greg? He's. You'll have to zoom in, viewers. That little blue dot. And Greg and I are still here. Where's Howard? So we've got Greg off now. On clips him, eager to go. Just got to get Howard here off. So we get Greg up. We've got Jonathan to base and Glenn's in the landing field. Oh dear. So still chance for me to get a fly if I'm lucky. Come on, Howard. Right. So I get Greg up, push him out front, and probably then take off. This has arrived, everyone. Come on, Wes, get your kit out. Conditions are good. Sight brief. Go.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
Greg's up there. Yeah.
Where is he? Can you see him? Oh, he's up there. He's been waiting for us, so we're supposed to join him. So we better get ready. Come on.
I'll tell you what, it's buoyant, is it? It's not like he's coming down in a rate of knots, is it? All right.
Get your feet down for landing, won't you, Greg? Feet down for landing. There. Why don't we start with Glenn? What sort of a day have you had, Glenn? You weren't in yesterday, were you? But you went flying at Harting.
I went flying at Harting for a little. I had a little flight, but it was fairly spicy at 9 o'clock. Yeah. So I went to work.
You went to work?
I went to work.
Hey, tell you what, hold on. What was yesterday's weather like?
Oh, challenging, and more challenging than my ability would cope with. That's how it was yesterday.
You said you'd been timified.
I was led astray by people that I felt knew better than me.
New guy on the block.
I didn't go anywhere.
You didn't go anywhere yesterday?
I just sat and watched.
Right, Glenn. So those conditions yesterday were...
Yeah, different air mass today.
But can you just explain that for the viewers?
All right, I can get it.
From the north?
Yeah, someone left the freezer door open.
Oh, no, that's probably what it made it spicy then. Or
quite possibly.
Rough as...
It was an Arctic air mass.
Let's ask a silly question. Was it the air wind direction on the hill was north, or was the air originating from the north on the synoptic chart?
It was originating from the north.
How was your flight today?
Good.
How low were you when you climbed?
I was pretty low. Well, I must admit, early on I took a few hints from yourself, Rob, which undoubtedly helped. As low as 100 feet, I guess.
And you climbed up. You did very well. Pretty low.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot happening, and climbed out. In flight, I mean, after yesterday, I needed a good flight.
What did you learn?
Well, it's just more confirming how to stay in a thermal and how to keep with it.
So if we go over to young man here who's got 7 hours, Jonathan, what happened to your flight? Go on, tell
I kind of asked you where I could go, and you said get gone.
And what happened?
So
Where did you go?
Got gone straight out.
Where did you go?
Up.
Where to?
Well, not far off the clouds. It was really cold.
The naughty white room.
It was cold.
It was.
Put some thermals on.
That was
why I needed to come down.
He said on cold. But what did you do after that? You flew off to the
west.
The brown fields.
The brown fields with the tractor who had the plough.
Little heads working, making a flight plan.
But I had enough height, so I then pushed bar, and my speed was about 42 kilometres an hour, which is the fastest I've ever been on a paraglider, I think. So I was so light on my other one.
How many hours you got again?
7.
So you got 7 and a bit now?
I think so. Getting
well
close.
done.
Really enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah. Wes, how was your day?
Well, I got my glider out the bag.
Yeah.
Same as yesterday.
Yeah.
Anyway, I defer to Glenn. He's got all the answers.
Wes came late. He had the dentist.
Any excuse.
How was your flight, mate?
Short.
Short.
Yeah.
You were low to take a 360 on that, but
There was...
If you didn't go up, it would have been a disaster. You would have landed, oh no, not in the place you want probably. But if you went up, it would have been lovely.
I didn't go up.
But
there were little tickles, but they
didn't go anywhere.
It was just, you know, beep beep, and that was it, gone.